Check me out on Blue Sky and Instagram. Donate $2 to my Patreon so you could see an alternative cut of this video and also see videos upwards to a week in advance. Okay, that's it. Let's dig in. Well, oil me up and make me dance in front of the wealthy elites for a couple of laughs before they hunt me for sport. Live action anime. Originally, I was going to make this big, long, 45-minute video talking about how live action anime can work. Live action anime is infamously bad, and stains like the Netflix Death Note and Drag My Balls Evolution really aren't helping my case. More specifically, American live action anime adaptations are usually considered terrible. Trust me, Japan has their own fair share of bad live action anime, but there's a vitriol and hatred for live action American adaptations of anime.
But let's not forget that before the 2002 Spider-Man movie, minus a few exceptions, superhero movies were considered box office poison and generally a terrible idea to make. Unlike today, where this allegory would have worked a lot better like 5 or 10 years ago.
But this is where I come in. I'm a firm believer that with the right team of people who understand the source material and the medium and actually could even possibly add on to it, whether stylistically or thematically, anything can be adapted well enough. And sometimes even better than the source material itself.
I'm Shakestar.
And I'm Evasive. And today we're looking at...
You can't kill me. I've been rejected by them. No, you're going down.
Bio Booster Armor Guyver sounds like an 80s manga series I might have come up with if you asked me to come up with a manga or anime title from the 80s.
That's because it is. Written and illustrated by Yoshiki Takaya, it was really popular back in the late 80s and early 90s. Definitely one of those franchises that was super popular for its time though, but nobody really talks about it much today. It got a 12-episode OVA series that ran from 1986 to 1994. And I'm sure Shakestar will cover that in a whole video at some point.
Christ, do I really have to? The manga has been on hiatus since 2016, but what makes the Guyver the subject of today's video is that of all the popular manga stories of the late 80s and early 90s, it'd be the very first to get its own American live-action adaptation, and not just one movie, but two. And in order for us to get to the good one, we have to be able to get to the first one, and oh yeah, Guyver 1 is terrible.
This movie is infamously known as the anime live-action movie starring Mark Hamill. Yes, that Mark Hamill, with a mustache. And from the advertising, you would think he's the main character, but he's not. It's actually this guy who can't act, named Jack Armstrong.
Okay. What if I go get something to eat and bring it back? And we could just talk?
The Guyver was directed by an effects artist named Screaming Guy George, popular for his work on Predator and Big Trouble in Little Tokyo, and co-directed by Steve Wang. Produced by first-generation weeaboo Brian Yuzna, who's famous for the 1985 cult classic film Reanimator, and he made his directorial debut on another cult classic body horror satire, The Society, which is a film I recommend if you love campy 80s horror with a bit of social commentary. After The Guyver, he'd work on another anime live-action adaptation of Crying Freeman of all things, and at one point during the mid-90s, him and Screaming Guy George were supposed to work on a live-action Devilman, but it was cancelled due to creative differences and limited special effects at the time. Though I will say my heart yearns to know what a mid-90s Devilman American live-action adaptation would have looked like. It would have definitely been terrible, but I mean, I like Devilman enough that I'll take anything at this point. No, the 2004 Devilman movie does not exist. But enough about Elder Weeb Ventures, Devilman, and 80s horror. The fuck's a Guyver?
I don't know what the hell that is, and I'm not sure I want to find out. The most lethal weapon ever conceived. A one-of-a-kind prototype.
Aliens came to Earth a long time ago and created the ultimate organic weapon, the Guyver unit, a MacGuffin plot device item that makes any human who uses it stronger and gives them superpowers. These aliens also created humans and planted a special gene in them that when it's awakened they become creatures called the Zoonoids, humans who can transform into these dollar store looking gremlin creatures. Many years later, the Zoolord awakens and starts up an evil corporation by the name of Kronos, and is now looking for and trying to harvest the power of the Guyver unit. These sick bastards. We get introduced to our main character, Sean, who not only sucks at martial arts,
Sean!
but also can't act. He stumbles upon the Guyver unit, becomes the Guyver after Guyvering his way out of there. He Guyvers all over the place and he stops these stereotypical gang members, and then he's on his main mission to stop the Zoolord and stop the Kronos Corporation and stop the big evil bad guy and stop this rapping racist caricature guy. Oh great, this movie's fantastic. No, but all jokes aside, the big bad guy kidnaps the love interest at one point in the movie. I really wasn't paying attention. And then Guyver comes by, swoops in, sort of defeats him, but not really, and then just does a big chest blast, and the day is saved. I've been avoiding watching this movie for years. A 15-year-old me told myself that if I ever became a YouTuber that reviews anime movies or superhero media, that it'll be on my chopping block, and one day I'll sit down and watch the Guyver.
Boo! You stink!
Thank God I waited all that time.
From the action, from the acting, action, cinematography, writing, tone, and some of the costumes, this movie fails at being a movie. But if you enjoy B movies from the early 90s that are so bad they're good, you would probably have a lot of fun watching The Guyver. And as a person who loves cheese, this movie was kind of up my alley, but don't be mistaken. This movie sucks.
Yo, you got to learn how to recycle.
Yeah, recycle this.
Yo, mama, why you want to be so crude? You must think of me as one rude dude. But you the one with the sugar and spice, so why don't you just act real nice?
In my opinion, the Guyver's biggest problem is its tone. It's constantly failing to balance between serious action movie, creepy body horror, and silly kids comedy. Okay, so there's this bit in the middle of the movie where they try to break the fourth wall and show that they're filming a movie, and
Hey, yo! John! Yo! Where the hell am I?
Hey, that is not your cue. You stepped on my scream!
Huh? No. You're not
it's
afraid of her.
just mostly cringe. Then there's the abrupt scene changes. But I feel when the film is being creepy, strange, and grotesque, it thrives. When the effects or tone get violent or disgusting, the movie is actually unironically enjoyable. Who would have thought when you hire the horror special effects director who's good at directing horror special effects, the movie would have actually had good moments. It's like how your mom is a pro at scraping might come out of her ass. Some things come naturally when a person who does what they do best is doing what they do best. Another example of something I liked is the hamily acted Zoolord played by David Gale, leader of the Kronos organization. He's creepy while being goofy, and you could tell he's like one of the only actors in the entire movie that's actually having fun.
What is this? Some sort of masochistic joke? How did that get in there?
It's as if the over-the-top, inconsistent tone works for the movie when he's on screen.
It's too bad they blew their entire budget on special effects and getting Mark Hamill, so they could only afford community theater people to do literally everything else in the movie.
My father was killed last night.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
I know. It's just that I don't know. I feel numb.
They said he didn't steal anything and nothing missing. We need more than a midnight shadow to bother those kind of people.
I'm guessing that the director didn't know how to direct, and these people didn't know how to act. It's not all bad. Like, I thought the special effects were really cool, and the costumes I thought were also really well done. And like, the transformation body horror effects are also great. Like, the scene where Mark Hamill transforms into a disgusting bug guy, I thought was on the same level as something like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. It's really, really well done and really gross looking, but those moments are very few, and in between some bullshit and really terrible lines.
Time, come on, my man. Check out time. Get out of here.
Checkout time was 11.
I need to say this now, something I absolutely didn't like was Mark Hamill in this movie. Not because his character is bad or his character is a terrible person or the fact he's written as tastefully as Wonder Bread with water, it's because it's so distracting to see him here.
I can usually see a popular actor playing another role without associating them with a previous role, but the movie is out of place in so many instances. The question that kept running through my mind is, why is Luke Skywalker here? Mark Hamill's character is this detective investigator guy who has the FBI breathing down his neck on not investigating the Kronos Corporation. Sean, the main lead, sucks. He thinks Dr. Sagawa's daughter is cute, so he stalks her and Mark Hamill to the crime scene and stumbles upon the Guyver unit.
He accidentally transforms in the funniest, most ham-fisted way he possibly could. Shakestar, show the clip.
Telling me what to do on Black History Month is fucking crazy, but here you go. There are moments that I feel were ripped straight out of the panels of a manga because of the way how it's filmed and shot. It just doesn't hit as hard like I feel like it could have. It's like getting the reference of the idea of what someone's trying to convey, but it's not well executed enough to say what it is. Unless if you're a person like me who loves reading manga, then you sort of get it. But I'm not going to make excuses for this movie. It's not good.
The comedy is so bad, it kills the pacing. The casting is absurd. The writing sucks. And the special effects are... This is the end of the review for the first movie, which means my part is done. So now I'm gonna go put this microphone down and go back to watching some pretentious old French movies while drinking black coffee out of a Yeti mug. Bye!
And somehow they ushered on and made a sequel. Don't ask me how and don't ask me why.
The Guyver unit. It's been a year since the alien armor invaded my body and became a part of me. A year since I first became the Guyver and destroyed the Kronos Corporation and their shape-changing killers, the Zoonoids. Now Kronos is gone, but the Guyver stays in me.
Out of the darkness, out of the shadows, a new breed of hero.
Push up, Bill.
With Steve Wang being the sole director this time and a much smaller budget, $800,000 to be exact, Guyver 2 not only follows the manga closer, but also feels more anime-esque in comparison to its predecessor. One thing to note is that none of the original cast members returned from the first film, and yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That is famous actor and writer of X-Men and X2, David Hayter. Yes, David Hayter, best known as the guy who voices Salad Snake from the fighting game with all the Fire Emblem characters in it, which one of us Nintendo fans gotta tell Fire Emblem fans that their games aren't really that good. I played them, they're not. Despite its lower budget, less notable cast, and being a sequel to a garbage movie, Guyver, the Dark Hero, isn't just an improvement on its sequel in nearly every way, but it's actually a very good movie. Now that Sean Baker is the guy Guyver, he has an addiction to fighting and killing.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
He hates his newfound power that makes him crave blood, so he breaks up with his hot GF from the last movie. There's reports on TV of a werewolf that's been killing, and the Guyver says his iconic catchphrase, "It's Guyving time," and Guyves over to Utah. He meets the daughter of an archaeologist, shows her his Guyver doodles, and she brings him to the digging site. He sees the same Guyver doodles and meets a not suspicious, not evil, not even possible in any kind of way bad guy.
You and I had an agreement. I find you your pay dirt, but I run the show my way.
Hey, that's what I want. And I'm gonna keep him off as long as I can. Just do a good job, okay?
I can't make miracles.
Yes, you can. That's why you're here.
And then we follow his journey as he uncovers the dark truth of the supposed werewolf. The Kronos Corporation is behind it. They're still around. They're still up and being evil again. Oh my god, it's Guyving time. Like I mentioned before, Guyver 2 is an improvement on the first film in every single solitary way. The acting isn't the best. Hell, I'd say that it's good David Hayter stayed as a voice actor / writer, but it's way better than the first film. It really feels like the cast is trying their best to make these really corny lines work as seriously as possible.
Your hour is up. Where is the Guyver?
There's been some delays. The Guyver...
Train?
We'll get him back, sir. He's fixated on the ship. He won't leave.
There's clearly an attempt to want to make a good movie here. Steve Wang, the sole director this time, being a big fan of tokusatsu, treated this film like a toku American film, instead of a film with just guys and a costume. And that's further expressed with the quality of the costumes, fight scenes, and overall condensed and simple story. Guyver 2 starts off with Guyver stopping a drug bust, followed by a well-choreographed fight scene with no bullshit. But it's not devoid of humor, it's just it doesn't prioritize its humor the entire film over everything else, unlike in the first film.
When asked to describe his attacker, Doug gave us this drawing, which he says is a copy of the painting found on the cave wall. This, he claims, is what killed Judd Curlew.
Because the movie leans way more into a darker, serious tone and amidst the bullshit of the first movie, we get fun and exciting mid-90s R-rated tokusatsu fights. And when I say that every single fight scene in this movie is entertaining, I mean it. Not a single one ever hits or breaks or does something that kills the pacing of these fights. Also, just not realizing this while I'm editing, but I have to compliment the sound design during the fight scenes. If I'm going to be completely honest, my biggest issue I have to say with the Guyver 2 has to be its holy cornball writing and how predictable it is.
What's the point of holding on? You go over it, and you get crazier and crazier. When do you just say that?
This isn't gonna work, is it?
So why don't you stick to the safer stuff?
Why don't you go home? I am not gonna let anybody take this away from us.
Also, the ending of this movie is so forced. Like, I get the message that they're trying to convey. I get it. No one should be allowed to have this super awesome alien tech power because they'd use it for evil. Okay, yeah, I get it. I've seen that plot, you know, I've seen that 1,000 times in a whole bunch of other movies. I get it. Good job, guys. Like I mentioned before, I could have seen who the villain was going to be from like a million miles away, and boo-hoo, Sean Parker doesn't want to murder people because he has this cool, awesome ability of being the Guyver. Oh my god, suck it up and use your powers for good, and he does that. that. Wow, look at that. Okay, my final little minor complaint issue is all I have to say is because of the lower budget, the film doesn't really look that well. When it comes down to the fight scenes, the cinematography is really good, but throughout the movie there are moments when the camera just is like out of focus and generally the shots are unimpressive. This film feels like it's a made-for-TV movie that just happens to be rated R. But funny enough, minus the main villain, I like all the side characters in this movie. They all have a purpose on being here. It's not like they shoved in an actor just to distract the fact that there wasn't much going on here. Mind you, the side characters aren't perfect, but I feel like everyone has a reason thematically and plot-wise to be here.
To kill.
I can't believe I'm cutting this part really short, but generally I really liked Guyver Guyvering the dark hero of the Guyver, Return of the Guyvers. I like it enough that it's one of my favorite films that I watched during 2025. I like it enough that to actually start reading the manga a bit too. And though I wouldn't call myself a humongous Guyver fan, I'm just surprised that of all the things that got me into this franchise, it wasn't an anime or a manga, it was the sequel to a bad American live-action tokusatsu movie. I can't emphasize this enough, but I think you should watch Guyver Dark Hero. It's free on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure there are like a dozen other ways to watch this movie. Hell, I'd recommend the first movie if you're really into bad ironic watches of late 20th century films.
Guyver!
Despite Guyver 2 being the superior film in every single way, when I watched both movies, I wouldn't say I was bored or that there were nothing movies. Whether it's an anime, movie, TV show, or even video game, the worst kind of media is media that leaves you feeling nothing, and I'm happy to say that I at least felt something watching both of these movies. One more positive than the other, but I still feel something. It's clear that there's passion in both of these movies, but one feels more like an American boomer anime fan would try to make their own live-action anime adaptation, and the second film is like reading a manga with the panels hopping right off the page and onto the screen. Neither are perfect, but both of them are overall harmless and fun, so check out the Guyver films, for better or for worse. Okay, so before I close up this video and we just go on with our merry old way, I'm going to be starting a new series on which I try my best to look at the more positive aspects of live action anime, because yeah, they have a pretty bad reputation, but I feel like there are certain aspects within these movies that actually work. And the Guyver 2 and the Guyver 1 are perfect examples of both ends of those spectrums. So with that being said, before we can get to the, worst anime live action film of all time, let's look at a whole bunch of other ones and be able to see where they work. And then we can look at...
It's a buck pipe down, little nigga, you are not that guy, you a bitch. Me and yo ho, we not wasting no time, she gon' come to my crib, she gon' sit on my...